The only video you need to watch before determining your candidate in less than 48 hours. The 2024 U.S. presidential election is approaching its climax. The race between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump has been fiercely contested. Recent national polls show Harris with a slight lead, but the margin is within the margin of error. This makes it a statistical tie. The electoral map reveals a similar story. Key battleground states remain up for grabs. Both candidates are focusing their efforts on these crucial states. The intensity of the race is palpable. Both campaigns are deploying all their resources. Rallies, advertisements, and media appearances are constant. The stakes are incredibly high. The next president will inherit an economy facing numerous challenges. Inflation remains stubbornly high. Interest rates are rising. The national debt continues to grow. Voters are looking for solutions. Harris is focused on her experience and her plans for the future. She emphasizes her record as a prosecutor, senator, and vice president. She highlights her policy proposals on issues like healthcare, climate change, and income inequality. Trump, meanwhile, is relying on his signature populist message. He criticizes the current administration and promises to make America great again. The outcome of the election remains uncertain. The coming weeks will be crucial for both candidates. They must convince undecided voters and mobilize their base. The direction of the country, both politically and economically, hangs in the balance. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump offer starkly different economic visions for America. Harris's platform centers on social equity and government-led investment. She proposes tax increases on corporations and wealthy individuals. She plans to use this revenue to fund social programs, infrastructure projects, and renewable energy initiatives. Her approach reflects a belief in a larger role for government in addressing social and economic disparities. Trump, in contrast, advocates for a return to his pre-pandemic economic policies. He favors tax cuts, deregulation, and a more America-first approach to trade. He argues that these policies will unleash economic growth, create jobs, and boost American businesses. His vision emphasizes individual liberty, free markets, and limited government intervention. These contrasting approaches reflect fundamentally different philosophies. Harris believes in using government as a tool to promote fairness and opportunity. Trump believes in empowering individuals and businesses to succeed through reduced taxes and regulations. These differences are evident in their proposed policies. They would have a significant impact on the economy if implemented. Financial markets are closely watching the election, and uncertainty is the prevailing sentiment. Investors are unsure how a Harris or Trump presidency would impact the economy. This uncertainty creates volatility in the markets. The stock market, in particular, has shown sensitivity to election news and polls. A Harris victory could lead to short-term market volatility. Her proposed tax increases on corporations and investors could impact corporate profits. This might lead to a sell-off in the stock market. However, her focus on infrastructure spending and renewable energy could create new opportunities for investors in those sectors. A Trump victory could also lead to market fluctuations. His policies of deregulation and tax cuts might initially boost the stock market. However, his protectionist trade policies and unpredictable nature could create uncertainty and volatility in the long run. Cryptocurrency markets, known for their volatility, are also likely to react to the election outcome. Harris's stance on cryptocurrency regulation is unclear. Trump has previously expressed skepticism about cryptocurrencies. The regulatory landscape for cryptocurrencies could shift significantly depending on the election result. Real estate, a traditionally stable asset class, may also be impacted. Interest rate hikes, influenced by broader economic conditions and the Federal Reserve's policies, could affect mortgage rates. This might impact home affordability and demand. The outcome of the election could influence the direction of interest rates. This would have a ripple effect on the real estate market. Section 4. The debt dilemma and inflationary pressures. The next president will inherit a daunting economic challenge, a massive and growing national debt. The U.S. national debt has reached record levels. This is due in part to increased spending during the pandemic. Both Harris and Trump have different approaches to addressing this issue. Their proposals could have significant implications for the economy. Harris has not outlined specific plans to reduce the national debt. Her focus on social programs and infrastructure spending could lead to increased government spending. This could potentially add to the debt. However, her proposals to raise taxes on corporations and high earners could generate additional revenue. This might offset some of the spending increases. Trump has criticized the growing national debt. However, his track record during his presidency shows an increase in the national debt. This was due to his tax cuts and increased spending in certain areas. It is unclear how he plans to address the debt in his potential second term. Inflation remains a persistent concern for the U.S. economy. Rising prices are eroding consumer purchasing power. This is putting pressure on businesses to raise prices. The Federal Reserve has been raising interest rates to combat inflation. However, these rate hikes can also slow economic growth. The next president's policies will play a crucial role in managing inflation. Their approach to government spending, taxation, and regulation will influence the trajectory of inflation. Their ability to navigate this complex issue will be crucial for the health of the U.S. economy. Section 5. The Long View: Economic Futures under Harris or Trump. The 2024 election will have profound implications for the long-term trajectory of the U.S. economy. A Harris presidency would likely usher in an era of greater government involvement in the economy. Her focus on social equity and climate change could lead to significant investments in renewable energy, infrastructure, and social programs. This could create new jobs and opportunities in certain sectors. However, it could also lead to higher taxes and increased regulation. This might stifle growth in other areas. A Trump presidency would likely signal a return to his pre-pandemic economic agenda. This would mean a focus on tax cuts, deregulation, and a more protectionist approach to trade. This could lead to short-term economic growth and job creation. However, it could also increase the national debt and exacerbate income inequality. Ultimately, the long-term economic outlook under either candidate remains uncertain. The global economic landscape, geopolitical events, and unforeseen circumstances could all impact the U.S. economy. The next president will face a complex and challenging economic environment. Their decisions will have a lasting impact on the lives of Americans for years to come. Thanks for watching the video presented by Sigma Digital Ventures. If you liked the content, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one.